Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast. I am your host, Charles Lung. With me, as always, my co-host, editor, producer, co-pilot, and gunner, Jacob Gloth. And today, we are here to pitch a brand new televisual series right off the top of our bloody domes. That's how we do it. On
What are you talking about?
On Tuesdays. We make up TV shows.
No, it's episode 129, Charles. It's your turn.
Oh, shit.
You think I can make this joke every single episode of the podcast and no one will ever get tired of it?
So, Better Call Saul, we'll do that, but it'll be a Batman TV show.
Of course it will be. Everything's a Batman TV show. We have to come up with an episode
off the top of our heads.
Something new, exciting. All right.
Let's pick.
Last time out, we had the incredible, not so great, actually more of just amateur or okay show about a soccer organization.
Oh, I thought you were talking about last 10 episodes. Last episode was good. Don't bribe the refs. We've gotten 6 views.
Don't bribe the refs. And before that, we had your old man superhero show. And before that, we had fantasy.
Yeah. All right. So we should.
So no fantasy, no superheroes, no modern day sitcom.
Yeah, you're right.
Those are the rules. Put them down.
So what should we do? What? All right. So we got to go history. We can't do sci-fi, or we could do sci-fi, I guess. Do sci-fi. Or
I was
history.
gonna suggest sci-fi. We could do history. That'd be fun.
Yeah. What if we do sci-fi history? Alternate history with sci-fi technology. How's that sound?
Maybe.
We could do like World War I, but they all have iPhones. That would be bad.
And they're all shoving Nokias.
They're all doing fidget spinners and dabs on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All doing the dabs.
That sounds like a terrible idea for me.
This is such a bad idea.
It's going in such a terrible place right now.
Franz Ferdinand dabbing right into a bullet.
Well, before the podcast, I was complaining about 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Your least favorite film ever made.
Yeah, that's the opinion I gave.
Yep.
I said it was overrated, but the idea of the AI losing its mind on the ship. Mm-hmm. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
But
so what can we do?
Maybe if we did like some sort of sea journey or some sort of space journey. And if we did space, that we have an AI losing its mind. If we did sea, we have like the crew losing its mind. Mm-hmm. Over time.
What if we combine the two ideas, Treasure Planet style, and we have like a ship, like a old timey made out of wood ship, that goes through space because of crazy technology.
Okay. We have like a ship of Theseus in space with like mythical creatures.
Yes.
And like,
yes.
But we have to. I kind of like the treasure angle. Mm-hmm. So like maybe the crew and the people on it are trying to find some sort of treasure. That's the ultimate goal.
Well, if we're doing
so
like
we do,
Ship
like Treasure
of Theseus.
Planet with like the Ship of Theseus-esque crew.
Yeah, we could do they're searching for the Golden Fleece, which if you remember, Jason and the Argonauts were looking for, which was the original superhero team up. The original Justice League, Jason and the Argonauts.
It was the original Marvel Cinematic Universe was Greek myths.
Yeah, Jason and the Argonauts. So
Homer was the Stan Lee.
He was the Kevin Feige of the ancient worlds.
Oh my god.
He had the baseball cap and everything. So we
have like this pseudo-futuristic, like Greek society, right?
Like a mythology
these, like,
society. Because I don't think we should just limit ourselves to Greek, even though it is, Greek and Norse mythology is in the zeitgeist right now, obviously, because of God of War. We should do we could get like Gilgamesh in there,
So we do all mythologies that are relevant, but we have to sort of change them for like space and stuff.
Yeah, everybody's they're a space hero.
So like this pseudo-futuristic ancient mythology
Yeah. Maybe we could do like their
civilization.
stories that happen over and over again, and time has progressed so far into the future that people have forgotten these myths and they're happening again, you know?
Yeah. We shouldn't explain how we got there, like from here to there.
No.
At all. It should just be the way it is.
Yeah.
Should we make this an anthology show or a serial show?
I think we should do
one episode like that's, the ship of Theseus, Jason and the Argonauts, or we do like each show is its own sort of like space myth, or we do like just the one Jason and the Argonauts.
I think it's a good idea, like the idea of ancient, like mythological heroes in space times with like everybody still has like swords and shields and stuff, but they've all got blinky lights on them because it's the future. I think that's a good idea, but then we can use that as like as a method to visit all sorts of different, mythological stories, right?
Okay.
Because it's like, okay, they can, there can be a planet of the Lotus Eaters, right? Just like the island of the Lotus Eaters in the Odyssey, and then people getting high on a space drug, and then they're like, oh, we gotta escape, Then we could do some other mythology that isn't Greek, if we could think of some.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, we also kind of got to like redo the story so it's original,
Yeah.
Do you want anthology? We're both set on that.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I think we use our characters, but maybe each episode could be focused on a different, like, has a different protagonist, but it's all the same, like, basic, cast, if that makes sense.
So it's the same crew on the ship. But
yeah.
Each episode is sort of centered around a different character and sort of what's going on with them.
Yeah, and then they get to do their own like little side adventures, and then we could have at the end of the season, the first season, they find the golden fleece.
Okay, so they're looking for the golden fleece to like. What are they using it for? Because it like heals people in Jason the Argonauts. They're trying to like kill something.
Exactly. I think that's it. It's like it's Zeus made this golden sheep, and then he killed it and skinned it, and he has this fleece that he's draped over a magic tree, and it's guarded by a dragon, and they have to kill the dragon and get the fleece in order to save somebody and prove that they're all the best or whatever. But I think we should...
Oh, wait, they want it because he rightfully placed him on the throne of Thessaly or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's make it like it heals stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And he's trying to heal his mother. So
yeah, that's a good earthly, down to earth motivation.
Yeah, people like save mom stories. People like moms.
Yeah, moms are good. You got to save your mom, and maybe we can have his dad be there too. And his dad. So
should we make Jason as our sort of like major hero person, right?
I think Jason
that
should
essential
be the
character of that character of trying to save his mom. So he wants to save his mom.
Yeah,
but
he's the one who
he
kicks
shouldn't
off
be
journey.
the protagonist of an episode, except for the last episode.
I think you're right. That's a good idea.
So he's the leader of this crew, but we should follow the other people up until then. Maybe we can follow him in the first episode to like set things up.
Yeah, but we won't establish him as a hero in the first episode. In the first episode, I think he should be like a young, naive kid who's putting together this great crew to find this treasure, and he's not sure what he's getting himself into, right? And then we get all these, sort of more grizzled veteran, space adventurers who come on to his crew partially because they want all the glory and money from finding Golden Fleece, also because they're like, this kid's gonna get himself killed, and if I just let that happen, I'm a hero. That's gonna be on my conscience, not conscious.
I have an idea for the second episode.
All right, let's hear it.
So 2 characters are going to come out of this episode to join our crew. This episode, I feel like we set up, that they're leaving out to get the ship. Maybe Jason has like a reduced crew or something like that. But he's going to get 2 new crewmates by the end of this episode. And this episode centers around the siege of Troy. But because it's space, it's like, maybe it's Troya or something like that. and we could start off with this awesome imagery of like this space like island floating with this giant city on it, and so it's surrounded by like space catapults, and we have like the all this cool sort of like space ancient technology. So it's like old stuff like ballistas and stuff, but it's shooting like this flaming beam of light thing that like pounds into the wall. Looks all cool and explodes and stuff.
Fucking badass. You know, they're like, oh yeah, fire can't exist in space, so we developed a new nano flame that is able to blah 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 blah. You know, sci-fi.
Well,
bullshit.
we'll be vague about it with like ancient language, so we'll call it like Greek fire or something like that. But it's like just straight up explosions. And we're gonna follow two brothers who are like just your bog standard soldiers in this. I need names. Two brothers. What's some crazy Greek names we can give these guys? Like
Atroxites.
We'll call them Atrocity. Atrocities.
Fendrix. Yeah.
I like Bendrix and Atrocities. So we're following Atrocities and Bendrix. This could work. So I'm thinking Bendrix is like the more, is like the less interested of the two brothers, the less,
committed.
The more like annoyed, and he's like kind of like a comedic character in that he is constantly annoyed by everything his brother does. But, he still follows him, and Atrocities is sort of like the leader of the two brothers who's coming up with all these crazy, stupid ideas. Right?
He's doing the plans. Fendrix is he's the cynic, We have the cynic and we have the believer.
That's the word I was looking for. I need a reason for them to get in trouble with their own army. Like, they're fighting on the side of the Greeks in the siege of Troy, right? And Odysseus or whatever is their general. I need them to get in trouble, some like stupid reason to get in trouble, but not in trouble enough that they should be murdered.
How about this? All right, they come, Fendrix and Atrocities come to Odysseus with this brilliant plan to construct an enormous.
Oh no! See, I have an idea.
Okay.
For that. Okay.
I was just gonna be like, he steals their idea.
I need something that they do, because the idea is they're gonna do something terrible, and Odysseus, as their punishment, is gonna put them in the Trojan horse along with everyone else who fucked up in the army.
Oh,
and it's
I
like this,
like that.
It's essentially this way to execute all these men at once, but it ends up working, and they take the city of Troy.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we could just have him like get into a bar fight, and then like the bar they knock somebody out.
Like some stupid though. Like he like I don't.
They knock somebody out, and it like knocks a thing over, and then like Odysseus's tent that he's staying in catches on fire and burns down.
Yeah, burns. Maybe like they're at the bar, and he just beats like one of the other generals in poker and wins like a shit ton of his money. And then he does that, and the other general sees this as a way to like, all right, I'm not gonna pay this debt.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put him in the horse. In Atrocities, he's like, yeah, like what? You still owe me like 400 gold. And he's like, I'll pay you right after.
We still use gold. It's the future. We're not gonna call it future. We're gonna call it credits because we're lazy.
So we put him in the horse. It somehow works, right? They somehow like the whole city of Troy falls because somehow the Trojans fall for this scheme.
Yeah,
they
open the gates, and Atrocities like work together, and Fendrix is like cynical about it. Atrocities is passionate, and they're using their skills in tandem to like trick and then kill all the Trojans and like open the gates and everything.
Yeah. I like that. And then at the end, we can sort of have like. They do all this, and it's great, and they're like kind of heroes, but the one general from earlier who owes Atrocities a bunch of money is like, I'll get you your money, hop on this, ship, and they'll take you right to my city, and we'll pay you a bunch of money.
Yeah.
And it's like Odysseus, he puts him on the same ship as Odysseus, right? Mm-hmm. And Odysseus is the one that gets like, cursed and has to spend all that time in the ocean and stuff, and like
I was thinking
trying to get home, and they get knocked off on their own separate journey, which ends them with like Jason and the Argonauts. And they're like, all right, well, they're like in the ocean, and Jason and the Argonauts, they find him and they're like, all right, hop in our boat, you can join us.
I was thinking we could do a thing in the first episode where Jason is is on the ship, and he's like, who are those two guys sleeping? And it's like, oh yeah, they're two more members of your crew. They just came from the Trojan front. War heroes, they say, war heroes. And then we get
the story.
Yeah, we cut back, and then second episode we cut back to the general talking to Atrocities and Fendrix, and they're like, and he's like, yeah, we'll drink to celebrate tonight, and I'll pay you back tomorrow. And they get drunk, and the general drugs them, and like they pass out, and then he gets some like unscrupulous ship captain to put them on Jason's ship. Because I think it would be cool, if like midway through the season they find Odysseus. He's just like floating along in a like on a, I don't know, comet or whatever, lost at sea.
Yeah, he's just like ocean. Yeah, gotcha.
But I think it would be more impactful if we don't see Odysseus'
Oh,
ship.
that could be kind of fun if we actually find Odysseus, like at some point, but we don't know he's Odysseus because he's like an old man who has like this big beard now. He's all scraggly, all haggard. He's lost a lot of weight, and maybe he's lost some of his memory for some reason. We could make it like
he was transformed into an animal by Circe, and then he transformed back, but after the transformation,
like lost some of his intelligence or something.
Yeah.
So they fight Circe, right? That's the whole thing. They fight Circe in like the third or fourth episode, and they end up saving this old man. Which we call him. Well, we don't know he's Odysseus.
Yeah. What's
something like sort of silly, like let's say he was changed into a rabbit, right?
Well, Odysseus has a dog. Yeah. So maybe we should call him.
Oh, the name of the dog.
The name of the dog.
The name of the dog. He was changed to a dog. Okay,
yeah.
So what's the name of Odysseus's
Argos.
dog?
Argos.
Argus. Yeah, that's a nice old man name too.
Yeah.
Argus.
Argus.
We'll call him Argus. He's Irish. Argus. And so we get old man Argus. We have our two men from the Trojan front, Atrocities and Fendrix. We have Jason. Jason probably needs like a childhood best friend.
Yeah, of course.
Right? That's like someone that came with him on the journey to start off with.
And maybe he gets lost,
what's his childhood best friend's
through
name?
one of the episodes, and then like comes back later in the season, or in the second
really
season
cool now.
As a villain.
Maybe he starts off as lame, and then he becomes really cool when he gets lost and found again.
Yeah, exactly.
What's a good stupid Greek name?
Persephone.
That's a little too much.
That is a little too stupid. Why not just Persephone?
Okay.
We could tie like Persephone is, she is Jason's bestest friend in the whole wide world, and she was like the daughter of a god, And then throughout the season, at some point in the season...
Well, she shouldn't be the daughter of a god. Then she'd have, like, powers and shit.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. But then maybe just the daughter of someone powerful.
It's not the Persephone. Just name her after Persephone.
Okay, are you sure? Because I think it would be cool if they, at some point they die.
Make her the Persephone?
Yeah, and then, we find out that Persephone, when she was lost, during the ship, she was saved by Hades, who took her to the underworld. And,
okay, we could do something fun here, where, like... And we could do that, where it's like she ends up getting lost and we do the whole Persephone story, right? Or we could make her, she was always Persephone. And Jason is like descendant from Persephone.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like looking after her
Her
like
son.
kin, you know?
That makes sense.
No,
I like
not her
that.
son, but like her like, great grandson or something like that. Her like line of people, right?
Yeah.
And that's who she is. And she's like a god looking over her like super grandchild or something.
Super grandchild. And we could, because this is the future, the Greek myths canon has moved forward, and maybe she killed Hades and has become the goddess of the underworld,
Yeah.
And so it's like, and then we can go to the underworld, and it's an actual planet that's like lost inside of the supernova, And that's, myth says that that's where your soul is transported to after you die. I don't believe in that sort of crap, Jason will say. Because he's cool now. He's cool and grizzled because he, fought a dragon at some point to get a fleece.
Mm-hmm.
But then he finds out that the fleece isn't the golden fleece because the golden fleece is a nebula.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Crab Nebula or something like that.
No, I like the idea that well, okay, maybe it should be a nebula, but it's also a thing. It's both.
Maybe it can be.
Because he has to, at the end of the show, he kind of has to, because I feel like we're doing like a PG show.
Yeah.
Or like PG-13, and I feel like there has to be a happy ending with
I
him.
agree.
Maybe it's bittersweet, but he needs to save his mom at the end. I feel like.
Yeah, of course. I think he definitely has to save his mom at the end. We could do a Medusa thing where they go to a planet or like a small asteroid.
Yeah, Medusa. She turns people into asteroids.
Oh shit. That would be funny.
Medusa creates asteroids with the stones. You know what I mean? Like all the bodies, they'll land on a planet or something like that, or what they think is a moon, but it's all people fused together. This is not getting really PG-13.
That's not super PG. Well, if they're
all
all
like stone people fused together, we can make it PG again by freeing them.
Yeah, freeing them,
somehow,
or just like, yeah. But we could be like,
maybe it's a little comedic. They like all get freed at the same time. They're all tangled up, and they get pulled into the gravity of the planet, and they all have to like yank each other out of.
Yeah, they make a human chain.
It's like huge mess of tangled people.
Yeah, that would be a good PG-13 thing. They make a huge chain and latch on, and they all save each other by working together, cooperation.
Yep.
That sort of thing.
And then they start a colony afterwards, and they call themselves the Human Centipede.
Okay, we're making it. We just went directly the exact opposite.
That was a joke.
No.
So I feel we need to add some other myths in here because we're just doing Greek stuff.
Yeah, we're just doing Greek stuff. That's what I was gonna say. Well, we could add in the myth of King Arthur, but that's pretty. That's not very.
That's not mythology.
Yeah.
That's not ancient mythology. That's more medieval stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's kind of ancient, but
we could do the Monkey Prince. I like the story of the Monkey Prince from Chinese mythology, in which this arrogant monkey prince has to escort a monk across ancient China, and he comes into contact with all sorts of crazy things, crazy monsters and stuff. You could do that.
So wait, who has to escort a monk?
The monkey prince, the arrogant monkey prince, and he's an actual monkey with
So we do that episode, and then the monkey prince joins the crew at the end.
Yeah, but maybe he should be like just a Chinese dude who has like a bunch of monkey robotics and stuff.
Yeah,
like he's got a robot tail, and like maybe he's got a robot extra thumb so he can grip onto stuff better because he's a monkey man, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
he's got a big staff because that's the weapon of the monkey prince. We could have an episode where Gilgamesh and Hercules like compete in these challenges, and they both like there's an arm wrestling thing and all this stuff, and they're just like, I'm better, no I'm better, no I'm better, and at the end they come to an understanding that they're both pretty good, but there's still a bit of friendly rivalry there. Maybe Hercules can be all like sort of like borged up, he's been enhancing himself with robotics, whereas Gilgamesh is like all natural, but they're both like the same size. They're both huge, muscular guys.
Yeah, I like that.
I know that in the actual myth of Jason and the Argonauts, there are these two brothers that are like twins, and they did something incredible together. And maybe we could do it like they're a sort of like weird alien thing, where they're like two heads on the same body. Or like they're fused in the side, so it's like they have like 3 legs and, one arm each or whatever.
Wait, who are you talking about?
I don't know the names of the characters, but they're in the Jason and the Argonauts myth. There are these two Greek heroes that are like twins.
I don't know who they are.
Yeah, me neither, but that's fine. There's a lot of people in Jason the Perseus is there. We could do Perseus. That would be fun.
We could do Perseus. So we can throw in some other mythologies in here. I got one. The Book of Thoth is from, I don't know if that's actually how you pronounce it. It's Thoth.
Sounds right.
It's from Egyptian mythology. So they need a way to know where the fleece is. So I think they'll learn about the Book of Thoth first, which it's a book in Egyptian mythology that, like, the idea behind it is it contains all the knowledge of the gods. And it's locked at the bottom of the Nile in a series of boxes guarded by, like, these serpent things.
Yeah.
And so I think it'd be fun if we have this set in, like, this, like, space river. That's, like, the river is, like, light and, like, all this, I don't know, like, nebula and, like, the web of, I don't know, stars and stuff. We have this cool-looking river thing, is what I'm telling you.
A river that goes through space.
It's guarded by all these, like, space serpents. And they've got to fight the space serpents to get the book. And it's said that the book is never meant to be, it's like too much knowledge for mortals, so we could have a thing where it's like they can't read it because it'll make them go insane. And maybe, I got it. This is how Odysseus gets his memory back, because they pick him to do, or like he decides he'll do it.
Volunteers
to like sacrifice himself for the team. And he opens the book and he reads it, but he remembers he's Odysseus, and Odysseus is a badass, so that he's not affected by like losing his mind and stuff. He just gets his mind back because he's already lost it.
He's the fucking bomb diggity, because Odysseus is the greatest character in fiction.
Yeah, Odysseus is pretty cool. I think that's an awesome arc for Odysseus.
Yes,
right
I 100% agree with you. That's awesome. We could have like this scene where, Argus, the old man Argus, walks up to the book, and he's, shaky and very old and haggard and withered, and he opens it and he begins reading. And as he flips through the pages, reading and reading, like this light begins emanating from the book, and the more pages he flips, the brighter the light is. When he finally gets to the end, everybody's looking away because the light's so bright. And he slams the book shut, and this huge burst of light flashes out and then dissipates immediately, and everyone looks back, and it's Odysseus standing there, and he's like all big and strong again. He's got his sword at his hip. He's like, I'm ready to, let's go, it's me. And we can have Atrocitus and Fendrix be like...
and Fendrix are like, oh shit.
Oh my god, Lord Odysseus.
I can't believe.
What happened to old man Argus? And I was like, you fools, I am old man Argus. My mind was taken from me by the ancient sorceress, what's her name? Cersei. From Game of Thrones, he'll say.
Cersei Lannister. I can't believe she would do this to me. Did you know her kids are actually her brothers? It's pretty messed up.
It's super gross. She's gross. Her whole family's gross, except for Tyrion. He's pretty cool.
He's pretty cool, except in the last season.
I haven't seen the last season. Although he does have sex with a lot of prostitutes, which is kind of gross. And then everyone ignores him because it's like, oh, he's lost his mind. He's insane.
In this huge Game of Thrones, right?
He's totally insane.
It's just us pouring out all of our opinions in this random lecture by Odysseus. And then at the end, he's like, sorry, I don't know where that came from. It's all the knowledge of the gods just poured into me. And
then the gods think that Game of Thrones Season 8 was a total disappointment, and that House of the Dragon is fine.
So far.
I liked it when they cut that guy's head
so
off.
far? Like they don't know all of it yet.
Listen, syndication is crazy up here on Olympus.
Yeah.
I like that bit where he cut that guy's head off and his tongue was waggling about. That was my favorite bit.
The God's trial period for HBO Max expired. So.
Yeah, so we've been using Derek's.
And he changed the password again.
The son of a bitch. And then we could have like a cool, little side adventure where they go back to the island where Odysseus is from, and we kind of redo the end of the Odyssey, but instead of Odysseus pretending to be an old man for a bunch more time, he's like, it's me, I'm Odysseus. Like, let's shoot an arrow through all of these axes and then get into a huge sword fight with all of the suitors. And it's like just a cool battle sequence, you know? Because we've already kind of done the Odysseus is an old man and he's revealed not to be an old man. You know? We don't need to do that twice.
Yeah, we know. We just get him in there.
Yeah. And then Odysseus, like, we have Odysseus after the reveal. We have him for an episode or two, and then we go back to his home, and he leaves the adventuring party. But he's
the group. Maybe he gives his son to him.
Yeah, he gives his son goes with them, or like, and he rearms them, and they all get
they
like
enough people, so they don't need it.
Super badass armor and swords and stuff, and those are the action figures we sell.
And this would be pretty close to the end of the show because they'll know where.
Yeah.
The fleece is now, and they need to get there.
Exactly. And then it's like, oh, we have to travel through the most dangerous, parts of space to get there. And they're like, well, you best be prepared. And they, get a super, they get their ship all fucking, fixed up, and they get all sorts of stuff. Yeah. Then the next episode, first scene is they're all rowing, and it's, we don't see outside the ship, but we just hear like the waning and the aching of the wood and the cracking as like lightning and all sorts of space shit goes on around them, but they're just like rowing, and we could have a cool rowing song because everybody likes a rowing song. And then we could fight the Kraken or something, like a crazy sea monster, but it's in space, so it's even bigger and crazier.
All right, I'm gonna go backwards real quick. So I feel like the path we're going on is they need to find this book, the Book of Thoth, so that they can learn where the fleece is, and that's Odysseus' arc is sort of completing there. But they need to learn where the book is, and I think a good way to mix up mythologies here is I'm gonna toss in something off the wall. We're gonna add a bit of Tolkien in here.
Oh,
Tolkien
a little bit of
mythology.
Tolkien. He does.
Tolkien has a character named I don't even know if I should try to pronounce
Gandalf.
it. There's Eärendil. I don't know if that's how you say it. The Mariner.
Yeah.
I don't remember a whole bunch, but I'm pretty sure he like sails across like space and time to get to the land of the gods to like ask their help to like help defeat the evil like Morgoth, and like Morgoth is the dude that's like in charge of Sauron. If you haven't seen Lord of the Rings, Sauron, well then I guess you wouldn't understand what he's saying.
Yeah, and Sauron is a bad guy.
But this is like all way before stuff happens and a lot of things. But anyway, this character is cool. He takes a boat and he sails across space and time to get to the gods. And we'll have the same character in this mythology. We can call him the same name, Eärendil, the Mariner. Or we'll just call him the Mariner. That
I think the Mariner is better because it's like a slightly less, obscure, slightly more obscure reference.
Less than just taking it. So we'll call him the Mariner, right? And we'll have him in this sort of like he's this ancient figure that Jason knows of through maybe his mom, or I guess Persephone probably told him because she's secretly a god.
Yeah.
That she heard of it, right? And so he needs to find the Mariner so that because the Mariner went to the gods, so he like knows of them and like know where this book is. He's the only man alive that like only man alive or like has been alive that's like gone to the place of the gods and might know where the Book of Thoth is.
Yeah.
So they have to find this guy.
And then we could have like I think it would be cool if it's like we know where he is. We know like his trajectory, because he's been to the gods and he's been back, but he's forever trapped sailing across space and time.
Oh, on his way back. He's forever on his way back. So they have to like, oh my god, then it's like Pirates of the Caribbean where they're like getting Jack back in the third movie.
Yeah, and they have to like do some weird like super obscure...
They have to, like, spin the ship upside down.
Yeah. Do some crazy science fiction fantasy stuff. Magic that doesn't make any sense to like pierce the veil of time, and they find him and he's just on this like tiny little dinghy and he's, just sailing. And they try
Maybe he's like, what's it called? He's like frozen in stasis, sort of, where it's like for him, he's still like 35 or whatever age he was when he started doing this.
Yeah.
When he started sailing back, for him, it's only been like a year that he's been sailing back. But it's been like hundreds of years that he's been sailing.
Yeah.
Technically. And they like get him back, and he's like still young, and they like help him get back. Maybe he can join the crew. They have this like absolute legend on their team now.
Yeah,
this
and
guy
he could
that
be the
sailed
navigator.
through space and time to find the gods, and he's like the new navigator.
Yes, that's good. That's some good stuff. I like all this. This is some quality content we're creating.
I was kind of hesitant at first, but I really like this whole like pseudo
mythological,
futuristic, mythological angle, and I like how we sort of turned all this stuff together with like Greek and Egyptian and Tolkien and Chinese mythology.
The Monkey Prince could be running around. He could be, he could be in the crow's nest looking out because he's got great eyes because he's a monkey, and monkeys have good eyes probably. I don't know if monkeys have good eyes. We could make the priest that he's accompanying like this blind, ancient, prophet oracle sort of situation. And they try and get information out of him, but he's like very cryptic and, not very helpful. And it could be revealed at the end that that was Persephone. Like she again wanted to keep an eye on her friend Jason, but she realized she could no longer, maintain her human form. She would have to disguise herself again.
Maybe Persephone gets killed in something.
Yeah.
Or like she gets lost somewhere. Or like Jason makes her stay somewhere because she's useless in a fight, but he doesn't know she's a god, so she's actually amazing in a fight.
Much better than him.
Yeah.
Or we could have the priest be Odin, if we're just throwing mythologies in there. Because Odin's always, disguising himself and like playing events, from behind the scenes. So we could have Odin be, just hiding amongst this crew trying to, prevent something. Like, maybe he's like, we can't allow the Golden Fleece to be discovered by mere mortals. And so he's,
he's trying to, like, stop them when they actually get there, and they have this one final confrontation with Odin.
Who
and them
takes off his
getting the Golden Fleece.
Blindfold, and it's revealed, like, he has one eye that is, gone, and the other eye is, like, this shimmering golden orb. It's like...
And this is one... because Odysseus is gone, so the mariner is like the guy now, right?
Yeah.
So he has like this legendary battle with him, and he'll die saving the crew, maybe.
You have to go, I'll hold him off for as long as I can. You'll die.
Maybe they're like fighting in the ocean. He's like, well, he might be the god of the skies, but the seas are mine, or something like that. Yeah. And he's like sailing alone on like a little sloop they have that sort of came with their ship into the ocean to fight Odin by himself. He's got a sword and he's like standing on the ship. It could be an epic shot.
Yeah, of just like him holding his sword by the side, staring up at this enormous cloud that's like slowly, forming the face of Odin as he gets closer, and like thunder and lightning bolts are flying out as Jason and the Argonauts are sailing in the other direction, Yeah,
and to add even more emotion to this, I think what we could do is one of the crewmates should be the like great-great-grandson of the mariner, and maybe that's how they find out where he is in the first place. Is they like find his great-great-grandson, who, just to add even more emotion, recently lost his father. Or like never had a father, and so using this kid who's related to the mariner, it makes it easier to find him because like blood relatives or something. And so they find him, and then we have this sort of storyline between the two where it's like, where they're like sort of connecting, and the mariner ends up becoming a father figure for him. He's like the father he lost because they are still related. He's like his great-great-grandfather.
Yeah.
And then it ends with him like saving his great-great-grandson and like pushing the crew off as he fights Odin alone. He shouldn't die. We shouldn't see him die.
Oh no, of course
he will die, but we should definitely not see it.
Yeah, maybe we have a post-credit scene where we just see like the wake of his ship, as it's, sailing across space and time. We don't even see the ship itself. We just see, like, the sea of space and time.
It could be like his sacrifice puts him and Odin back in that stasis that he was in earlier.
Yeah. Like in an eternal
conflict. And then
conflict.
They're like fighting forever. It's like that episode of Spider-Man, the old cartoon.
Yeah.
There's an episode where they add Captain America in. Mm-hmm. And the reason in the movies he gets frozen, but in the show he gets like put into like a pocket universe with the Red Skull, and they're like fighting forever.
Oh, I don't remember.
In this like pocket universe thing.
Cool.
So it's like the same sort of idea, and then it's like this dude has a new legend of him fighting Odin forever in this pocket thing.
Nice. In this pocket.
He's essentially the most badass character of all time.
Yeah. Thank you, Tolkien.
Which I feel like adds to the mythology of our show. These characters that like are pulling these incredible feats, but they're not the protagonists, right? Odysseus is not the main guy, and neither is the mariner. It's Jason who's trying to save his mom. So there's a bit more like of a humble and sort of human center to it all.
Yeah, exactly. And perfect title, Jason and the Astronauts.
Jason and the Astronauts. I like that. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's a little too fun.
Yeah, maybe a little too silly. That's fine though.
We need I feel like we need like something prophetic,
Yeah. Maybe we should tie the title into the fact that the
Theogony.
The Theogony? I like that.
Theogony, I'm stealing the title. It is a poem describing the birth of the Greek gods.
I like that a lot, actually. The Theogony.
Theogony.
That's a good title.
So, I like it. So it's about like the birth of gods, and these people are the myths. So it's like the birth of the myths.
Yeah.
Theogony. I like that.
Theogony. That's good. That's a good title.
Theogony.
Is
it the Theogony or Theogony?
I think Theogony. I don't think you can go
Odyssey,
the Theogony.
Odyssey. Theogony. Okay.
Theogony.
I like it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the show, I think. Unless you have anything to add.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for.
Well, I've got one really important thing to add, Charles.
He's got something. Everyone.
What character would you want to play?
Oh, that's a good. Can I play? Oh, fuck. Can I play one of the animals that, like, Cersei turns dudes into animals, right? Could I play one of the animals, and then I get turned back into me?
We could both be like, we could be donkeys.
Yeah, donkeys.
Get it? Hilarious.
And then we get both.
We'd be donkeys in the cell with Odysseus.
Yeah.
And we don't get turned back. But like she didn't do the magic right, and so we're like comedic.
Yeah, we could talk. We could talk, yeah. Mm-hmm. Maybe we do get turned back, but everyone gets turned back and they're like fully clothed like they were when they were turned into animals, but we're naked for some reason.
Okay. Wait, I think I've got an addition to that idea.
Yeah.
What if they try to turn us back, but it doesn't work because we are just talking donkeys?
We just found our way to this island. Yeah, I like that.
And we're like, yeah, we're gonna stay with Cersei because
Yeah, she treats us nice.
She's like our owner. We like her.
Yeah.
The rest of these guys, no, they were not treated well, but we're all right.
Yeah, we're just talking donkeys. She didn't have anything against talking donkeys. She's just got a thing against sailors.
We saw Game of Thrones. We're not trying to slight her. We know what happens.
Yeah, we know what happens. We've talked to the gods. They know what happens too. They don't like it.
They know what happens. Yeah.
All right. Well.
All right. Theogony.
Theogony.
That's it.
Thank you everyone for listening to the Very Reasonable Pilots podcast. I've been your host, Charles Long. With me as always has been my co-host, editor, producer, co-pilot, and gunner, Jacob Gloth. If you like what you heard here and you want to hear more, please give us a like, a follow, subscribe. Do all the things that you're supposed to do for YouTube videos and podcasts and stuff. You know what to do. You're smart.
Yeah.
And stay safe out there, folks.
You do.
Don't forget that if you get turned into a magic talking donkey, make lots
You
of
might have
jokes.
been one all along.
Oh my god, my stomach is... I don't know if the microphone picked that up, but my stomach is fucking acting crazy right now.
Yep, we didn't need to know that.
Alright. It's just making a lot of noise because I haven't eaten today.
I still don't need to know.
7 p.m. Haven't eaten today. A bad idea.
Oh my god. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.